Delft is a city and a municipality in the Netherlands. It is located in the province of South Holland, where it is situated north of Rotterdam and south of The Hague. Delft is known for its historic town centre with canals, Delft Blue Pottery, the Delft University of Technology, painter Johannes Vermeer and scientist Antony van Leeuwenhoek, and its association with the Royal House of Orange-Nassau. History. Early history. The city of Delft came into being aside a canal, the Delf, which comes from the word delven, meaning delving or digging, and led to the name Delft. It presumably started around the 11th century as a landlord court. From a rural village in the early Middle Ages, Delft developed to a city that in the 13th century received its charter. The town's association with the House of Orange started when William of Orange, nicknamed William the Silent, took up residence in 1572. At the time he was the leader of growing national Dutch resistance against Spanish occupation of the country, which struggle is known as the 80 Years' War. By then Delft was one of the leading cities of Holland and it was equipped with the necessary city walls to serve as a headquarters. After the Act of Abjuration was proclaimed in 1581, Delft became the de facto capital of the newly independent Netherlands, as the seat of the Prince of Orange. When William was shot dead in 1584, by Balthazar Gerard in the hall of the Prinsenhof, the family's traditional burial place in Breda was still in the hands of the Spanish. Therefore, he was buried in the Delft Nieuwe Kerk, starting a tradition for the House of Orange that has continued to the present day. Delft Explosion. The Delft Explosion, also known in history as the Delft Thunderclap, occurred on 12 October 1654 when a gunpowder store exploded, destroying much of the city. Over 100 people were killed and thousands wounded. About 30 tons of gunpowder were stored in barrels in a magazine in a former Claricen convent in the Doelen-Kwartier district. Cornelis Soetans, the keeper of the magazine, opened the store to check a sample of the powder and a huge explosion followed. Luckily, many citizens were away, visiting a market in Schiedam or a fair in The Hague. Artist Karel Fabricius was wounded in the explosion and died of his injuries. Later on, Egbert van der Poel painted several pictures of Delft showing the devastation. Delft in 1652. Egbert van der Poel. A View of Delft after the explosion of 1654. View of Delft by Johannes Vermeer, 1660–1661. The Gemeenlandshuis and the Old Church Inn by Cornelis Springer. Sites. The city centre retains a large number of monumental buildings, whereas in many streets there are canals of which the borders are connected by typical bridges, altogether making this city a notable tourist destination. Historical buildings and other sites of interest include Oude Kerk, buried here, Piet Hein, Johannes Vermeer, Antony van Leeuwenhoek. Nieuwe Kerk, constructed between 1381 and 1496. It contains the Dutch royal family's burial vault, which between funerals is sealed with a 5,000 kilograms cover stone. A statue of Hugo Grotius made by Franciscus Leonardus Strachey in 1886, located on the Markt near the Nieuwe Kerk. The Prinsenhof, now a museum. City Hall on the Markt. The Oostpoort, built around 1400. This is the only remaining gate of the old city walls. The Gemeenlandshuis Delftland, or Heiterhuis, built in 1505, which has housed the Delftland Regional Water Authority since 1645. The Vermeer Centre in the rebuilt Guild House of St. Luke. The historical WAAG building. Windmill de Roos, a tower mill built c. 1760, restored to working order in 2013. Another windmill that formerly stood in Delft, Het Fortune, was dismantled in 1917 and re-erected at the Netherlands Open Air Museum, Arnhem, Gelderland in 1920. Culture. Delft is well known for the Delft pottery ceramic products which were styled on the imported Chinese porcelain of the 17th century. The city had an early start in this area, since it was a home port of the Dutch East India Company. It can still be seen at the pottery factories De Koninklijke Porseleineffeles and De Delft CPAUW. The painter Johannes Vermeer was born in Delft. Vermeer used Delft streets and home interiors as the subject or background of his paintings. Several other famous painters lived and worked in Delft at that time, such as Peter de Hoogh, Karel Fabricius, Nicolas Mays, Gerard Hoggeist and Hendrik Cornelis van Vliet. They all were members of the Delft School. The Delft School is known for its images of domestic life, views of households, church interiors, courtyards, squares and the streets of Delft. The painters also produced pictures showing historic events, flower paintings, portraits for patrons and the court, and decorative pieces of art. Education. Delft University of Technology is one of 3 universities of technology in the Netherlands. It was founded as an academy for civil engineering in 1842 by King William II. Today well over 16,000 students are enrolled. The UNESCO IHE Institute for Water Education, providing postgraduate education for people from developing countries, draws on the strong tradition in water management and hydraulic engineering of the Delft University. Economy. In the local economic field, essential elements are education, scientific research, Stichting Deltas, Nederlands Normalisation Instituut, UNESCO IHE Institute for Water Education. Tourism. Industry. Earthenware production by De Koninklijke Porseleineffeles, Exact Software Nederland BV, Topdesk, Ampelman. Retail. Macro, Ineco Energy NV. Nature and recreation. East of Delft, a relatively vast nature and recreation area called the Delft Seahout is situated. Apart from a forest, through which bike, horse ride and footpaths are leading, it also comprises a vast lake, narrow beaches, a restaurant, community gardens, plus campground and other recreational and sports facilities. Inside the city, apart from a central park, there are also several smaller town parks, like Nieuwe Plantage, Agneta Park, Calverbos, and others. Furthermore, there's a botanical garden of the 2 and an arboretum in Delft Seahout. Delft was the birthplace of, before 1900, Michiel Jans van Meerevelt, painter, Willem van der Vliet, painter, Hugo Grotius, lawyer who laid the foundations for international law, Adrian van der Venne, painter, Daniel Mijtens, painter, Leonard Brammer, painter, Martin van den Hove, astronomer and mathematician, Hendrik Cornelis van Vliet, painter, Daniel Vosma, painter, Willem van Aelst, painter, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, father of microbiology and developer of the microscope, Johannes Vermeer, painter. After 1900, Vincent de Moor, producer, remixer, Nico Haak, singer, Stinkeiser, former speed skater, Mikhaila Krajicek, professional tennis player, Atzo Nikolai, politician, Alexander Pechtold, politician, Irancha Rus, professional tennis player, Ria Stallman, former discus thrower and shot putter, Peter Teteru, singer and musician of Delft band T-Set. Otherwise related: Kader Abdullah, writer, Martinus Bejering, microbiologist and discoverer of viruses, lived and worked in Delft. Jody Bernal, singer, Ferry Bodder, football player, Ken Munku, football player, Jan Timman, chess grandmaster, raised in Delft. Miscellaneous. Nuna is a series of manned solar-powered vehicles, built by students at the Delft University of Technology, that won the World Solar Challenge in Australia 5 times, of which 4 in a row, and 1 in 2013. The so-called Superbus project aims to develop high-speed coaches capable of speeds of up to 250 km per hour, together with the supporting infrastructure including special highway lanes constructed separately next to the nation's highways. This project was led by Dutch astronaut Professor Wubber Ockels of the Delft University of Technology. Members of both Delft student rowing clubs Proteus Erites and Lager have won many international trophies, among which Olympic medals, in the past. International relations. Twin towns, sister cities. Delft is twinned with. Transport. Delft Railway Station. Delft Zuid Railway Station. Trains stopping at these stations connect Delft with, among others, nearby cities of Rotterdam and The Hague, up to every 5 minutes. For most of the day, there are several bus routes from Delft to similar destinations. Trams frequently travel between Delft and The Hague via special double tracks crossing the city. One of those 2 lines is still under construction inside Delft and is meant to connect The Hague with the Science Park, which being developed on the southern side of Delft and is a joint project by the Delft and Rotterdam municipalities.